Hello and welcome to the Lawrence County Football Show. And we're halfway, just approaching that halfway through the season. Keep in mind that there was the scrimmage, the week 0 game, and then we took off like a rocket. And some rockets didn't soar so high, but things look promising. And let's talk about, first of all, the Newcastle Red Hurricane. Now, the week 0 game loss against Shaler, and the Canes actually, as a 1-3 team, they are a little bit better than their record dictates, although the Canes are going to have to prove it by hanging on to the ball and not making those turnovers. Losses against Shaler, South Fayette, and last week against Beaver showed that turnovers and a sluggish start would hurt the Canes. Now, in their Montour win, and even late in the game at Beaver, they proved they could run the ball. The Canes will be traveling to West Mifflin to take on the team down there. And when we look at West Mifflin, a lot of things come out. They're 2-2. They lost 7-6 to Mars. They beat Indiana. They also had a win against a loss against Franklin Regional, and they came up with another win. And their 2 wins I don't really count as quality wins, with Trinity and Indiana, both 35 and 47-0. So when you look at the quality of play, the Canes can be in this one if the Canes don't turn the ball over, run the ball, and get big and physical as they can do. I'm not sold that this team is going to go in a tank. I think they've got a lot to show, and this may be one of their breakout games as we head down to these last 5 games, 6 games in the season. Now, moving on, it's the Union Scotties. Now, the Union Scotties will be taking on Rochester. Rochester 3-1, and Rochester posting wins against New Brighton, Laurel, Leesburg, and Olsh was a loss, 21-8. The Rams always have talent down there, and Union will have to take a look at this 2-2 record and game up at Sox Russo's Field. Look for the Scotties to put in a good effort and, again, avoid mistakes. You could see who's the big dog in that battle. Now, we're going to take this break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about Neshannock and a whole bunch more right after this.
Come dine with us, come dine today. If you could use some real good food, there's a place not far away. If you could use a drink or 2 or a place to go and play, come to Gallows Italian Villa today.
Yes, friends, Chalella and Carney Floral Designs is alive and well in Newcastle. Owner and designer Stephen Doherty and his staff have a special motto: we love what we do, and it shows in every area of the business. Stop by their pleasant Southside store at 1006 South Mill Street. Chalella and Carney has been there for the community with quality and service since 1943. You can go to the website chalellaandcarney.com or call 724-652-8412.
Welcome once again to, if you're just joining us, the Lawrence County Football Show and the Neshannock Lancers. Now, Neshannock 2-2 after getting off to that 2-loss start and then posting 2 wins over Mohawk and Elwood City Lincoln will be taking on Shady Side Academy. Now, Shady Side Academy, here's a note. They've only played 3 games. They have wins against Brownsville, Steel Valley, and Valley. Now, I would consider those 3 quality wins, and the game is at Shady Side Academy. The Lancers are going to have to be on top of everything, as this will be a really difficult game. Lancers are going to have to avoid mistakes and be able to hold on to the ball, as Shady Side proved they can blow people out. Elwood City Lincoln, well, starting off with a loss and then another loss and then another loss, they found themselves on the losing end of the stick with 4 straight losses. Well, today they're going to be taking on Freedom, and no rest for the Wolverine. Freedom, with wins over Mohawk, Hopewell, Shenango, and Riverside, are going to prove to be a worthy opponent for the Wolverines. Freedom might be that team you're watching in November, as they're beating everybody you put in their path. This could be an interesting start and an interesting finish for the Freedom Bulldogs, as I'm starting to think they're for real. Now, Shenango, the Wildcats, they have Riverside. And Riverside's one of those teams where you're wondering where they're at. Shenango jumping out with a loss against Union, Freedom, Western Beaver, and then finding a win last week, 34-33 over Sierra Catholic. But the Wildcats have to travel to Elwood City to take on Riverside, and Riverside again, one of those 3-game opponents who found themselves beating Neshannock, getting clobbered against Freedom, and then winning against Western Beaver. The Wildcats will have their hands full down at the Riverside. Now, we're going to take this break. We'll be right back after this timeout.
The Cedars is a great restaurant with outstanding Mediterranean food. The Cedars takeout menu is second to none, featuring pizza, stromboli, hoagies, their famous lamb on the rod, and so much more. So when you're hungry and you want that Newcastle taste, make it Cedars. Now it's in Newcastle, 827 Addis Street on the east side, and all Cedars 724-658-9260. The Crane Room is a restaurant. The Crane Room is a bar. The Crane Room is a banquet facility. The restaurant will please you time after time with their diverse menu. Ask about their daily specials. See the menu at craneroom.com. The bar gives you an abundance of choices with 35 beers on tap and always changing. Their banquet services are always to perfection. The Crane Room, located at 3009 Wilmington Road in Neshannock Township. Call 724-656-1553.
And it's the Lawrence County Football Show, keeping you informed on what's going on. Well, your Laurel Spartans, 2 losses, then 2 wins, and they're taking on Clarendon. Now, keep in mind, Clarendon's winning streak was ended by the Spartans. The Clarendon Bears won a forfeit game, 2-0 over Maple, and that just went on the scoreboard as, a game that didn't exist. They beat Greensburg Central Catholic, and Riverview convincingly. Will Laurel have more experience and be able to beat the Bears? The game is at Laurel. Look for this to be a close one. Now, Mohawk. Well, Mohawk going into their game against Western Beaver, and this is going to be an interesting type of setup. The game is at Western Beaver. Mohawk finding 2 wins, 2 losses, and actually 2 wins and 2 losses for the Golden Beavers. Summit Academy trounced the Golden Beavers, or excuse me, Western Beaver beat Summit Academy in the first game, lost to Southside, found a win over Shenango, and then lost to Riverside. Which Mohawk team and which Western Beaver team will show up is probably more the question, as their schedule and their scores look very similar against common opponents. It's a Saturday. It's at Western Beaver. Hopefully the Warriors can come out strong. Now, Wilmington taking on Conneaut. This is going to be something to think about. Wilmington with 1 loss coming to Farrell. Everybody else got plastered. 67-0, 66-19. Well, excuse me. Conneaut, on the other hand, saw a loss against LeBray and then won 49-26, 69-0, and 46-6 against Iroquois. I look for the Wilmington Greyhounds to have a great game and show hammer time and put the hammer down against Conneaut. Now, this was the Lawrence County Football Show. Tune in. We bring you high school football. And sometimes I get that. But I'll make sure I get some water before we go out to the games. Make sure you stay tuned and watch the Newcastle Red Hurricane take on West Mifflin. Now, remember, we're available anytime on your time, and let's go out to the field and enjoy the game.